Hey everybody, this is Lord Magicus, and this week we're going to play Dimir Merfolk in Modern. So, this is the first time that we're ever playing this deck, so I'm kind of excited to give it a try. I would like to thank Pixel Tamer for doing our content for last week in Penny Dreadful. So if you guys haven't watched that, please go and give those videos a thumbs up. Really like it when we have guests on our channel, and I also like it when, you guys support everything that we're doing and thumbs up everything. So it means a lot to me. I know a lot of people talk about, yeah, like, share, subscribe, but you know what? It actually matters a lot. It really helps keep this kind of content going. So, yeah, and the Dimir deck is something that I think a few people have asked about, and I've seen a couple people playing it recently. And I think it's got a lot of stuff going for it. And the main thing that really attracts me to this right now is Drown in the Loch. So why Drown in the Loch? Well, it's a spell that covers both things on the board and also spells in the stack. So it's removal and a counter spell in one card. Yeah, very, very powerful. You do have to splash it. You have to have black in order to play it. So it's not like Lurrus where you can play it in different styles of decks. No, this definitely solidly locks it here. So what do we need to play in order to make this work? Well, our 1-drop actually is much better with this card, Merfolk Windrobber. We've never played this card here before, but it's first time for everything. So normally milling your opponent's graveyard is a liability, but we actually need to do that here in order to turn on Drown in the Loch. So every time that the Merfolk Windrobber hits them, they mill a card, which fuels the Drown in the Loch. And if once they get to 8 cards in their graveyard, then you can also sacrifice Windrobber to draw a card. So in the late game, this actually just becomes a cantrip. If they ever try to kill it off, you get to draw cards instead. It has flying, which is relevant. Goes over stuff like Scourge of the Skyclave. Can also block annoying flying things like Flicker Wisp. So yeah, being a 1/1 with flying is actually pretty relevant. The evasion's cool, so we'll have to see how this card performs here. But the other card that we're going to play here, and this was some cool tech that I saw, is Thought Scour. So it's a cantrip at instant speed, and it lets the player mill 2 cards. So we can mill our opponent for 2 cards, and that way turns on our Drown in the Loch. Or, because this is also a Lurrus deck, you can Thought Scour yourself and mill 2 cards so that you're fueling your own Lurrus. So I think that's pretty interesting. And there's more things to do at 1 mana. So this deck actually has 12 1-drops in it. I don't know if we necessarily need all 4 of these, but this is the shell that I saw. We're going to try it like this. Otherwise, we have our typical stuff, core Merfolk cards. I am going to play with some Mire Tritons too, because I think if we're going to play black, we may as well play with this card. It's actually one of the really cool reasons to play Dimir Merfolk as well. A 2/1 Death Touch means it trades with literally anything in combat. Tarmogoyf, Death Shadow, Scourge of the Skyclave, any of the prowess creatures, it doesn't matter. If this thing connects, it does damage to it, they're going to die, and this is going to die. But this also gains you life, and it fuels your graveyard for Lurrus. So it's a pretty good value play to brick wall your opponent's aggro plan while also being a recurable life gain, which means it helps you with Scourge of the Skyclave. The splashing a color usually means you're losing a little bit more life, but this gives you some of that life back, as well as I said, bricking some of the opponent's more dangerous creatures to our deck. So yeah, you attack with it. There's not a lot that really wants to block this thing. So the Death Touch is a cool form of evasion, but it's also a good defender. And yeah, you can just keep recasting with Lurrus, and that's awesome. Other than that, yeah, I'll play 2 copies of Force here to support the Drown, but I also have the other 2 in the sideboard. Dismember is extra copies of removal when we're in those kind of matches. So we have a good balance of counter magic and also hard removal, which I like. I am all about hard removal. It gives us a much more controlling deck here. Other than that, Chalice of the Void is really good here. We are playing with 2 Cavern of Souls, so it's not a big deal. We can stick a Cavern here and along with a Chalice in one, and if we're bringing in Chalice in one, we're probably taking out Thought Scour, so it's not a big deal. It's a pretty clean swap for those. Damping Sphere, this is a little bit of a hedge against like Tron decks if we come up against them. So we only have the 3 Spreading Seas, but I don't know if we definitely need this for sure, but I think this card's fine. Nihil Spellbomb is another card we don't usually play a lot, but with Lurrus it's actually really good. So any of the decks where we care about the graveyard, Spellbomb nukes our opponent's graveyard but not our own. So unlike Relic, we get to keep our value and we still get to draw the card with it. But yeah, it's a recurring card advantage engine with Lurrus in those matches. And yeah, that's just about it. So I think I'm pretty happy with the way that this deck looks. We'll take it out and see how well we do with it. Okay, so we are on the play here. Let's show them the Lurrus. This hand looks perfectly fine because we can just go like Thought Scour and then have Drown in the Loch up if we want. Well, we'll see how this goes, but I think I'm happy with this. Now, I don't think I talked about Creeping Tar Pit, but that's fine. Yeah, the Tar Pit is going to replace Mutavault here, and we need it because we have to keep enough colors to cast all of our stuff. Tar Pit's something I've wanted to try for a little while. I think this is the sort of deck that you can play it in, so let's give it a shot. Alright. Steam Vents, Serum Visions, interesting. We might need this Drown in the Loch. They put 2 cards in the bottom. This might also inform us a little bit about what we need to be worried about here. So this looks like Jeskai control. So we put basic planes. They might only have 1 basic planes here. I guess I'm just gonna Spreading Seas them. I don't want to play my only creature right now, and I don't think there's much they're going to do on turn 2 that I care about. So it's worth noting we have all of our Watery Graves in hand, so fetches are not going to be able to find them. But this looks like Jeskai control. I guess it could also possibly be what is it? I think they probably have removal here, but we'll pay the 2 life and I will play some creatures this turn. It could be the Emrakul deck. Depends. Maybe they have Dwarf in mind, so getting rid of mountains actually matters for that. So we gain our 2 life back and we also get to draw 2, or I mean mill 2 cards. Alright, we'll do this now. I mean, if this lives, like, next turn could actually be really good for us. So they're figuring out that we are a Merfolk deck. I guess you could Mana Leak this if you want. We could be facing Mana Leak, so... But I need to get some pressure on the board, and I don't want to commit the Lord just yet. It's much better if we can play this like next turn and have Drown in the Loch up alongside it. I think they might be either bolting this thing or countering this. No, they're just going to let it go. Alright, it's fine with me. We got a mountain. Alright, If they're getting Hollowed Fountain, this is probably control. Bolt, sure. That's fine. Yeah. I guess they could have Spell Snare. They do not. That's good. I guess Snapcaster Mage is something we have to be worried about, so I don't really want to Thought Scour them anymore. Yeah. So they mill another card. It's alright. Oh, we milled a Helix. That's either really good or really bad. However, we have 2 Drown in the Loch, so might be okay. We can counter basically anything now. So if you have Snapcaster, they could go like Snap Helix. I think we're just gonna attack with the... We'll attack with these 2. I'm willing to drown the Snapcaster. Restoration Angel, absolutely fucking not. So I think they might not have Snap because they would have used the Snap first. Oh, is this like Kiki? That it feels like maybe it could be. Baneslayer Angel. So I mean, I don't have to actually counter this. I can just kill this, right? I mean, okay. Can I kill them? This will be... If I draw a land, I could kill them. I think. Not that one. Fuck. Alright. Okay, well... I guess we just play the Lord here. Attack for 6. This is a good turn. We can put Lurrus in hand. This looks like just a regular control deck. They have angels in their main deck. Here's the thing, like if you Helix this, I could still just play Lurrus and play a Lord. I think, yeah, that's still okay. I guess if I draw a Lord, that would also be alright, but there's no... I don't want to expose the Tar Pit if I don't have to. go to 1. Alright. So this looks really promising because now Tar Pit is lethal and Windrobber is also lethal. There we go. So Jeskai control, huh? Alright, I feel pretty good about this. So Force is usually pretty good. Seize is not really that relevant. It's okay. Actually, don't know. Well, I might want to keep the Thought Scours just so I can get them to like 4 cards to counter stuff with Drown in the Loch, or like Cryptic Command, for instance. I think these are fine. Playing like a lot of counter magic, I don't really care about it too much. This might actually be fine to just roll with it like this. I don't really want to Spellbomb them because I want my Drowns here to work for me, so. This is for decks like Dredge, where we actually have to care about the graveyard. Is there any chance I want to replace Thought Scour? Probably not. Like, I think this is perfectly fine. We'll run it back. I feel like we've got a pretty good chance. Our deck is pretty well constructed to deal with this nonsense. We have Cavern of Souls here. Does mean we don't have Drown in the Loch right away, but I guess that's okay. We'll keep it. They mulled to 6. Alright. It's fine with me. So we'll get to cycle this and feel the graveyard. So Drown will be online quickly. I think you think in a typical game you probably just need to hit them with the Thought Scour once, and then the rest of the time you want to hit you with it. So we'll see what we draw here. Well, we're definitely going to play the Flooded Strand. Wait and see. If they crack the fetch land, then I'll Thought Scour them. So I'm not in any particular hurry. I mean, they could remand this thing. If they remand it, do I really care that much? No, not really. Alright. Also, it means then they have to use removal on this on their turn. Ooh, okay. So we milled 2 lands. Not a bad pickup. We'll just play or pass. Yeah, because now like their fetch lands are just fueling Drown in the Loch, so that's kind of cool. Okay. You have like Helix mana up. I don't have to be in any particular hurry against them. Oh, they missed a land drop. Okay, we're fucking crushing them now. How do we want to do this? I guess we have to play Darkslick now. Because I don't really want to play a creature yet. I would love to wait until I can play a creature and hold up Drown. Here I can like hard cast Force of Negation if I would like. If they tap out for like Teferi or something. Well, we found a land off the top. Okay. We'll start battling through this. If they just like bolt it, that's fine. I'm sure they have lots of removal. They're just trying to figure it out. Path? Okay, cool. I would love to get a land. Bolting me! The fucking arrogance! Oh, I don't need it for the creatures. I'm just gonna bolt your face. That is not gonna be the way to go with Lightning Bolt in this matchup. Absolutely not. Get that shit out of here. And yeah, that's why we are holding up Drown in the Loch, because they have lots of nonsense like that that needs to go away. Okay, fuck it, let's play Mire Triton. Gain some of our life back. Yeah, flash in Resto and block that, I dare you. Snapcaster Mage. Okay, so they can just Snapcaster Bolt it. I mean, I guess that's fine. I don't really care if they bolt the Mire Triton. I have to save the Drown for something more important than Snapcaster. Okay. I don't think that pitching of Force is really necessary here. But I need to hold this up for the Angels. The Angels are like the big thing. Okay. So they probably don't have another Bolt because I think they would have just killed Master if they did. Okay, well, maybe they just drew it. Alright, I'm gonna take a chance here. Force of Negate this. I doubt that they have another Geist. It's possible, but I don't think that's the case. You are attacking me. That's so insane. No, that's... Don't even pretend. You're not winning the damage race. You need a Geist. That's the only way that that's happening. I guess we're gonna find out here if they have a thing. No, they don't. So I guess Supreme Verdict is a possible issue for us, but they need to have Verdict like this turn or they die, so. And if they do, we'll just get Lurrus and start reloading our graveyard. But I'm trying to play like around Anger of the Gods. Fuck no. Are you shitting me? No, absolutely not. I think that's good news for us. They had a path, that's fine. That is so fine. Let's just play around another bolt here. I'll put Lurrus in her hand, but I don't think I'm going to actually cast it right now. Just in case, like I said, they have Verdict, then we can at least rebuild a board a little bit with this. So, but right now they're dead. They need to kill off 2 lords. So they need like another Snapcaster. Another Snapcaster's not enough. They need 2 removal spells. Or Sweeper. No. And Lightning Bolt is not, well, I guess one of like 2 Lightning Bolts is not enough. It has to be like Path and then a Bolt. So I'm not blocking plays around them having Bolt and then another Bolt. Or like Bolt and Helix here. Restoration Angel, okay. I still think this means you're dead. Because you just path and then I attack you for 6 and you die. Okay. You still very much are going to take 6 island walk damage. I want you to know that I had enough islands. Alright. Now we just win. Get there! Alright. There are cards they could have, like Snapback or something, but they are not playing them, so... There we go! We beat Jeskai Control. The Dimir Merfolk deck was a better control deck than Jeskai was. You saw how awesome Drown in the Loch was. We got to kill off angels with this. We countered like Geist of Saint Traft. Countered Engineered Explosive. This card is like 100% the reason we won this match. So ridiculously powerful. Yeah, and fucking stunning. And like, yeah, even Lurrus was like a really good backup plan here. So I was pretty happy with this. The Mire Triton I thought was pretty fine. You know, it gained us a little bit of life and also filled up our graveyard. So now we had a little bit more options here. You know, 2 Tritons in the graveyard to bring back. I think we did it in game 1 where we brought something back with it. So yeah, that was... I think that, yeah, this match made the deck look really great. We didn't get to use the Tar Pit, but it was also threatening lethal, I think, last game. So the card's perfectly fine in this deck. Makes blue or black mana for us, though. It does come into play tap, so you have to account for that a little bit, but that's why I'm only playing 3. I mean, maybe 2 is correct as well, but it's hard to say. Yeah, you got to be careful against the like removal heavy decks with Tar Pit, because you don't want to throw, you don't want to tap like 3 mana and then tap this land and be like completely tapped out against it, and then when they just like bolt it or something, that'd be terrible. So don't be conservative with your Tar Pits here. They're not like Mutavault. They actually cost like a lot more mana to use it. But yeah, this is pretty great. So please, you have to give this a thumbs up. You know, Dimir Merfolk, its first showing on this channel, takes down its first match of this league. So thanks everybody for watching. I will see you again tomorrow.